Hey guys, welcome back to my homestead. In today's video, you're gonna see a realistic look of what it is like to can a year's worth of food at a time, some of the challenges that I face with storage, and just my honest feedback on the whole process of homesteading and canning. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video if you wanna see a tour of my canning shelves and everything that I have on my basement set of shelves right now. Don't forget to hit that like button while you're watching and subscribe if you're not already. And let's jump into the chaos. So I spent this past weekend canning up all of the dried beans that I had from last summer's garden. They can be stored dry for a really long time, but when they're dry, I don't use them because nobody wants to spend 4 hours cooking dinner every night. So I like to can them all, and that way they're just ready to go. I can just open a can and dump them into whatever I'm cooking. Makes it really easy. The reason I have like all this stuff laying on top of it is because it's a little bit sunny and there are windows on those two walls, and with your canned goods, you want to make sure they stay in the dark. You don't want direct sunlight on them or anything. So I just like grabbed whatever was laying around, threw it on top, like some pot holders and a couple towels and whatever, because I had to run out the door yesterday. But today I'm going to try to get all this stuff put away. Now the hard part is when you have this many cans is trying to find a place to put them all. Now I do have shelves downstairs, and we'll go down there in a second, but they're kind of full, so I'm gonna have to do some rearranging. I do have in the kitchen, I have one pantry in here that I can fit jars, but I can't fit any quart-sized jars. These are only tall enough for pint-sized jars, so the quart-sized jars have to go downstairs. Which means I'm gonna have to probably carry up a bunch of pint-sized ones from downstairs and put them up here, because I think I do have some space on some of these shelves. So today we're gonna be doing the canning jar shuffle, as every time I can something new, I have to reshuffle everything. But that's just life. I mean, I don't have like a huge area in the basement. I have one set of shelves where I can put stuff. So stuff is kind of spread all over the house. I have some in here, and then I also have some like down in this cabinet in the dining room. I have like my overflow, like my home canned sauce, and then I have some store-bought sauce from before I canned mine. We were out of it, so I had to buy some. And then have like rice and oats, and this is where I keep pasta. Normal people keep dishes in their dining room cabinets, but for us it's food. So we got pasta, spaghetti sauce, all kinds of stuff in here. I kind of do that around the house. I just have to like tuck stuff in wherever it fits, because that's what you have to do. I mean, most people don't have an ideal setup for everything they want to store, and so you have to get creative. But anywho, I'm going to try to get all these jars moved downstairs and shuffle everything around. Oh, I forgot to tell you what kind of beans I have. So I have pinto beans, I have butter beans, which are actually lima beans. If you leave them on the vine till they dry out, they become butter beans. Then I have some black beans, and what else did I have? Red kidney beans over here. So those are the 4 types of beans that I have. I'm gonna move some of these pint-sized ones just straight into the kitchen up here, because I do wanna have some on hand up here where they're handy. And then, but I'm not gonna be able to fit all of them, but then I'll take the quarts downstairs. Because I do so much transporting jars up and down the steps and back and forth and wherever, I actually just keep this box all the time to make it easier to transport them, so I can carry like a big chunk at a time. So I'm gonna load this up, put some of those pints in the kitchen, and then start carrying stuff downstairs. Okay, I'm already getting hot, so I gotta pull my hair back. I'm gonna get my weightlifting in for the day. And this is where the tendonitis is already acting up. It's a lot of weight to carry. but we must get it done. Okay, we've made it down to the basement where my other canned goods are stored. As I mentioned, you are supposed to keep them in the dark, so I put these curtains up over top of them. That was actually kind of a cool video that I filmed at one point. I can link it, but showing you how I did this all for free without buying anything, just with like scraps that I found laying around the house, old curtains from our old house that for some reason we still had, I don't know. But I designed this so that I can just lift these little pressure rods off and just drop the curtains to the ground so that I can access what I need to access here. So I'm going to take these curtains off and we will take a look at what we've got to work with here. So this is the current state of my canning shelves. As you can see, they're pretty full. So I'm going to have to do some rearranging to try to make room for all those beans that I need to bring down here. But it's gonna work. There's some gaps. There's like space there and there, a little bit down there. So we're just gonna shift everything down to the left, and I think I can find room for all those beans. Down here, this is kind of like my backstock area. I started shopping with Azure Standard, and this is not sponsored, by the way, but I really enjoy shopping with them because I hate grocery shopping. And so anything I can buy in bulk once and not have to buy it again for the rest of the year is great. And the prices, when you buy it in bulk, the prices are just crazy good. Now, not everything is cheaper at Azure than it is at the grocery store. It really depends what you're buying and how much of it you're buying at one time. But the stuff that I buy, it's all less expensive than it would be at just our regular Walmart or whatever. And then I only have to buy it once for the whole year, and I'm good. So I got like my organic wheat flour, I got organic quinoa, have organic gluten-free oats. I have my organic raw apple cider vinegar with the mother. I've got organic maple syrup. Just great prices. I also buy like vanilla extract in bulk from them, spices, things like that. Like we go through so much smoked paprika in this house. It's crazy, but I bought a bulk size of organic smoked paprika. And then there's just a whole bunch of other stuff I buy from them, but I really love Azure. I'll leave a link, again, not sponsored, but if you want to check it out, I think it's worth it. The other thing down here too, and I just did a video on this recently, but it was just a short, I don't know if you saw it, but these bins are my absolute favorite find of the entire like past 10 years, because I used to have all of my quart-size canning jars in, here's one over here, and a bin, like bins this size. I couldn't find anything that was shorter but not too short to put the jars in. And so I had like all of these bins that couldn't fit on my shelves anywhere. I had them just like stacked up over there by the water heater in the furnace, just in the middle of the floor. They were like blocking the closets that we have cleaning supplies in, and like my husband's hunting clothes and stuff like that. Like couldn't get into the closets, couldn't access the shop vac or any of that stuff over there, because I just had like 8 bins stacked up on the floor all over the place. It might have even been more than that. Could have been, I don't know, like 10 of them. But anyways, I had to use ChatGPT, honestly, but it worked out really well, just to find bins that were the right size. And these are perfect. Let's see if I can open this here. But you can see the quart size mason jars fit perfectly in here because it has this raised lid. Like all the other ones were like a ½ inch too short. And I didn't want something super tall because I wanted to be able to put them on the shelves. I wanted to be able to stack them and like, you know, fit them in small places like that down there. And these are absolutely perfect. So if you're looking for storage for quart size mason jars, I will link these below. I also use these size for the pints, which the pints are shorter, so they worked perfectly for the pints. They were just too short to do the quarts in. So I'll link those too, but I wanted to share that with you because it literally took me years and engaging an AI robot to find the right size. If you're wondering why I keep the empty jars in containers instead of just putting them on the shelves, let me give you an example. This is what happens down here in the dirty basement. You see this? It's a little bit dirty and dusty. So after we eat the food, I throw the jars through the dishwasher. to sanitize them, and I don't want to have to wash them twice. If I just left them on the shelf where they get all dusty like that, I would have to wash them again before I started canning, and I'm not trying to do stuff twice, so I don't have time for that. I would rather just keep them in an airtight container there, sealed up, no dust. That way they're clean. So when I'm ready to can, all I have to do is just grab one of these containers and just carry the whole thing upstairs. And I think I have to double count how many I can fit in here. Let's see. Oh, let's get the lid all the way off. Oh, there's a spider back there. Awesome. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12 plus 6. So is that right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's 16. Okay. 16 plus 6. So 22. That sounds right. Yeah. I can fit 22 quart-sized jars in each container. So it makes it really convenient when I have to move them around, such as, days like today where I'm trying to fit stuff in places that I don't have enough room for it. But anyways, yeah, I digress. I just wanted to show that to you because it took me so long to find them. These are from Walmart.com, by the way, and I'll link them, like I said, but I love keeping my empty jars in clean, airtight containers so I don't have to rewash them. It saves so much time on canning day. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna try to rearrange some of this and see what kind of space I can make for those beans. Okay, dilemma. Now I'm debating because this is all canned chicken over here. I have 14 birds that we're about to butcher as soon as it's not negative 1,000 degrees outside. And I kind of like to group things together. So I'm thinking, like, I wonder if I need to leave a little bit of space here for chicken so that I don't have it like spread out all over the place, but I also need to make sure I have enough room for beans too. Gotta think about this for a second. Okay, now I also just realized I have a whole like shelf full of chicken over here. That's all chicken too, so it's already like spread out. I think I might move this chicken up here so it's next to the other chicken so that I have it all in one place. This is what I do, like every time I can something, it's like, put this here, that there. It's a process, but it makes my OCD happy, so I'm gonna do that. I love the storage that I have on these shelves, but honestly, in hindsight, if I had the lateral space, I would prefer to not have these be so deep because it is kind of hard to reach all the way into the back to access those ones. But again, I don't have the lateral space in this house, so we had to go deep with these. So it is what it is. But if you're building a house from scratch or you're trying to set up a pantry, I would say it's not ideal to have it be this deep if you're going to be moving jars around all the time. I got like that dust all over my sweatshirt. I might as well wait till I'm done to brush it off. I'm like already over this, but gotta keep going. Okay, ran out of room for the rest of the chicken. I'm gonna have to slide all this stuff down. I'm gonna do this the easy way and just take these 2 rows and put them on the end instead of sliding everything down. So much for my philosophy of having all the older stuff on the left and work your way to the right. Sometimes you just have to throw it to the wayside and make a new plan, but that's what I'm gonna do. Arms are getting tired. Hey! Got all the chicken in. Now it bothers me that some of the rows are pushed back further than others. So of course I'm gonna sit here and fiddle with it. At least just the jars in the front. Alright, the ones in the back I don't care, I can't see them. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna move these 3 rows over to the other side also. I don't even know if I'm in the camera. Can you see me? I'm gonna move those 3 over to the far end also, so that way I do have room on the shelf next to the chicken so that I can add the new chicken there once I can it. So I'm gonna do that, and then I think we should be good to put the beans on the shelf. I always dread doing this, but I'm so happy when it's done because I love having everything all organized. So it's gonna be worth it. Just gotta keep pushing on. Okay, now I'm going to, apparently I can't talk, I'm tired. I'm going to get the beans and throw them on the shelves now. Trusty box, and I just knocked over a hat. Oh. Stay. Stay. Behave. I'm a little bit more slow motion at this point. We're gonna get it done. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be wonderful. And now my kneecap just popped out. One sec. Did you hear that? Popped it back in. We're good. I'm telling you what, getting old, like, I think I got old a lot younger than I thought I would get old. Like, not ready to be this old yet, but it is what it is. We're working with it. Gotta work with what we got, right? Okay, more jars. One of the other perks of being a homesteader, no need for a gym membership. You got your weights right here. Weightlifting. You get to hike up and down the hill to take care of the chickens. You got your cardio. I mean, you're good. Saving you money all over the place. Hey, you want to know a secret? So, it's an excuse for me to take a break for a second anyways, to talk to the camera. So I'm going to give you a little secret about the behind the scenes filming of this or whatever. So all those jars that were up on the dining room table, when I carried them out, you saw the footage of me carrying them all out in the boxes one by one. Didn't actually carry them down the steps at that point because I didn't have anywhere to put them down here until I made room. So I was just carrying them into the kitchen, pretending like I was going downstairs. I'm giving you all my secrets now, but it's okay. We're friends, so it's cool. So anyway, now I have to carry them all from the kitchen down the steps. So every time I come with a new box, you see me just a little bit more tired, but it's okay. I'm getting my steps in, whatever. I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you. I don't even know. This is like the real homesteading aspect, you know, like the real experience, because so many times you see like the Pinterest perfect shelves, you know, and like you just think like, oh, it always looks like that. But you don't realize that they just spent 3 hours doing what I'm doing right now, like rearranging everything, lining up all the jars perfectly, breaking a sweat, whatever. I like to give you the behind the scenes footage, okay? Like this is like what actually happens in a real life homestead when you're actually like homesteading in it instead of just like taking pictures of it. But anyways, I'm not like knocking anybody else because honestly, I love looking at all those Pinterest perfect pictures. Like it just makes me happy to see everything lined up perfectly, and like especially when it's all in like rainbow color order and all that stuff. But anyways, like I'm just being real with you. Like real homesteading It's hard, it's tiring, it hurts, I'm dirty. Like, this is my favorite sweatshirt. I just got it this summer and it's like covered in gook. I'm gonna have to lint roll this when we're all done here. But anyways, I want to give you the real deal. Like, homesteading is not for the faint of heart. I do highly encourage anybody to try it, but like, don't jump in all at once, okay? Just like dip your toes in. Do like one thing that's new, okay? Don't try to do this your first year because you'll give up, trust me. It's too much to do at once. Just try like one new thing. And actually, that's a great thing that you can put in the comments for me is leave a comment and let me know if you're just gonna try one new thing with homesteading, what would it be? And I can maybe like do a video or give you some advice on how to get started with that one new thing. So, all right, I've procrastinated long enough. Got to get back to moving these jars. Good chatting with you though. Oh, and by the way, just so you don't think I'm like a big liar or anything, when I said, you know, I was filming, pretending to carry the jars downstairs, but I didn't actually do it yet. That was to create the illusion for you, so you get the idea of like, okay, this is how it works when I'm not filming it. I would just carry one box at a time from that table down to the basement. But for filming purposes, I don't even have like a camera, like real filming equipment. I just use my old iPhone to film this, and I only have one. So like, if I were gonna film me actually doing that, I'd have to like pick up the box, carry it out of the frame, walk back over, grab the camera, carry the tripod downstairs, reset the camera, set it up, and then walk across the camera in front of it to put it on the shelf, and then like take the tripod back upstairs and do all that again. So like, I want to show you what it looks like, but like, I'm not doing all that. So that's why I just did like, all right, you can see me carrying them off the dining room table, and then you see me carrying them on here. So like, again, in real life, that's what I would do if I were filming it. So anyways, don't think I'm a big liar or like faking my videos or whatever. I just wanted to make that clear. All right, more jars. This arm is not gonna be functional at all for a couple days after this. But it's okay, we're gonna get through it together. Couple more loads. You got this. You know what? I'm just gonna take this jar back upstairs because I hate to have one jar and like a whole empty space behind it. So I'll find somewhere to put this upstairs and start my next row with those. I gotta switch hands. Oh, that one's not any better. That was not helpful. Oh. Why are my rows crooked? How did this happen? Oh, because the pines are skinnier. Okay. I got it. I got it. We're good. I think I can get the rest in one more load. Here I go. Okay. Last load. The light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's gonna be sore for a while. Okay, we did it. Now, as your reward, I'm gonna give you a tour of everything that's on my shelves. Woo. All right, guys, so as promised, here is the full tour. We'll just go shelf by shelf here. We got pickles. We got peach preserves. We have chicken broth. This is all chicken broth. Different shades of darkness because of just when I was making it, how long the bones were in, and whether there was meat in with the bones, whatever. So it's just, you know, a variety of colors, but that's all chicken broth. This is turkey. This is turkey broth. These are some freeze-dried meals that I just have on the shelf for convenience. There's stuffed cabbage, and then this is chicken pot pie. These are some bread cubes that I was saving to make stuffing with. Yeah, some more bread back there. We have a bunch of freeze-dried sweet peppers. These are all sweet bell peppers. There's like a ton of those back there. Then we also have some freeze-dried onions. So that's all back there. I believe this is chives. Yeah, these are freeze-dried chives. And then I had some greens. Oh yeah, this is perpetual spinach, which is actually a type of, what is that called? Chard, that's what it is. It's a type of Swiss chard called perpetual spinach. It tastes just like spinach, but it grows like a chard, so it's like a huge plant. I think that might be some kale powder back there. I gotta check. It's been a while. Yeah, this is freeze-dried kale that I ground up into powder so I could just like sneak it into smoothies and stuff without the kids knowing. You know what I mean? Get some vitamins in there. Hopefully they don't watch this. Then we got butternut squash up here. Down on the next shelf, we got cherries. Now, I can these for myself, and I don't eat sugar for the most part, so I can these with stevia instead of sugar and use like the tart cherry variety. So those are for me. Then this is all chicken. I got drumsticks. I have diced up chicken meat. I think that's chicken thighs there. Some more drumsticks. I like to can, let me tell you, if you're looking for good bone broth, this is like the absolute best bone broth I've ever had, is when you have the meat on the bone while you're canning it. So you get the flavor from the meat, but you also get all the nutrients from the bone because it's being pressure canned for a couple hours. So it has, like, when you take this out of the fridge, if you open it, stick it in the fridge, excuse me, when you take it out, it's like literally like Jello. Like, it's so thick, all that good collagen and gelatin, like it's amazing, and it tastes so rich and so good. So if you're looking for a really good bone broth, if you don't have a canner, what you can do is pressure can your chicken with the meat on it and the bones at the same time, like pressure can it in an Instant Pot or something like that, or not pressure can, sorry, pressure cook it in an Instant Pot for like, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. So you get all the same benefits without having to can it. But anyways, that was kind of a rant, but it's just so good. I just wanted to share that with you. So that was also just me being lazy and not wanting to debone the drumsticks because there's so many ligaments in there. It's just like annoying. It takes too long. So it works for both ways, you know, like it's a win on both counts. Anywho, so here's some chicken breast. This is all chicken breast meat. We raise, how many did we raise? I don't remember. Maybe like somewhere between 35 and 50. I don't even remember how many chickens I had, but we raise like a whole batch of meat birds in the fall usually. And so this was just processed a couple months ago. So we haven't eaten it down very much yet. That's why I have so many, but I do go through that really quickly actually. So I'll probably still need to get more. This is all applesauce that I home canned. I believe this is Honeycrisp applesauce. Use that. Then we have apple jelly. Did some of that. For the apple jelly, and then this is fruit juice. I have Concord grape juice and green grape juice. For these, I actually use something called a steam canner, or not a steam canner. Why can't I talk today? A steam juicer. And I believe I have a video. I don't think I ever put it on YouTube. I think I just put it on Facebook, but I'll try to maybe insert some video footage here while I'm talking so you can see what a steam juicer is. But that's what I use to extract the juice from the apples and the grapes, and it's a really easy way to get the juice out without getting all the peels and everything. And then you can either can the juice or you can use it to make jelly or turn it into like gelatin or whatever you want to do with it. So anyways, that is what that is. Okay, so then we got some beef broth. Okay, and if you saw my previous pantry tour, you already saw this, but I will show you just for the people who haven't seen it yet. So I was trying to make my own beef bouillon, okay? So I took beef broth, I stuck it in the freeze dryer, and thought like it'll come out like a powder and then I can, you know, just like break it up and I'll have beef bouillon, right? Well, it came out the texture of cotton candy, and like I don't know what happened. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know why it's cotton candy. Somebody told me after the last video, someone told me if I stick it in the food processor and grind it up, it will turn into powder. So I guess I could do that, but like I don't know, it was just so weird. Like I'm sure it would turn back into broth if I add water, but I just was very surprised by that. I don't know why that happened that way, but that's how it came out. So anyway, that's beef broth. This is some deer meat. My husband hunts, so we get some deer every year. And that's what that is. We got some sweet corn. I believe this is pumpkin. Yeah, this was the jar I showed you the dust on. Awesome. So that's all pumpkin. And then down on the next shelf, we have our green beans from this previous year. So lots of green beans. We go through those quickly. We've got some lamb. We actually, for the first time, bought a lamb from a local farmer, and it was just delicious. But we needed the freezer space, so I ended up like chopping up what was left and canning it because our freezer was getting too full. So that is what's there. And then actually I took the bones too, and I made some bone broth for the lamb as well. So that's what's in here. I just put the bones right in the jar. Again, like I said, I just stick the bones in the jar, put it in the pressure canner, and it makes the bone broth for me. So that was pretty easy. So that is there. And then we got peaches. There's a local orchard where we get our peaches, our cherries, and our apples, which I use for the applesauce there too. But we got a whole bunch of peaches, canned those up. Oh, so, okay, then this peach juice. Okay, I gotta tell you about this. So when I was canning the peaches, you have to like pre-boil them for a couple minutes before you put them in the jars. And so after boiling batch after batch after batch of peaches in this boiling water, we ended up with like peach flavored water, like this peach juice. And actually I had my girls try it, and they said that it was really good. They're like, wow, this is like good. It's like not too sweet, you know, because we didn't add any sugar to it or anything, but it just has a really nice peach flavor to it. So that's what's in here. And this would be really good for like making smoothies and stuff, adding it to smoothies when we're doing that. Or you could just drink it straight, honestly. And then I have some freeze-dried peaches just for snacks or for baking. My girls like to bake a lot, so they can use the freeze-dried fruit in their baking. And then I have some freeze-dried zucchini. Now, most of the shredded zucchini I do freeze, but again, when we ran out of freezer space, I was like, well, I guess I could freeze-dry some, store it on the shelf. So that's what's there. I did a whole video on like all the different ways we use zucchini, so I can link that video down below. But the shredded kind we do for either like zucchini bread, or we'll make zucchini fritters out of them. And I think I put the recipe in that video, so I'll just link the video. But anyways, all right, so black beans. Now these jars don't look very full because I listened to ChatGPT about how many beans to put in the jar, and it said like only put the beans halfway up the jar because they'll keep absorbing water. But I said, well, I already like pre-soaked them, so they already absorbed a lot of water. Are you sure it's only halfway? And it was like, yep, definitely only halfway. And this is what I ended up with. So I like the second batch that I did, I filled it like 2/3 of the way, or I think I did a little bit more than half, and that was like better, but not the best. But like with the pints, I filled them 2/3 of the way and then put the rest water, and that was perfect. So I think 2/3 is the happy ratio there. If you are canning beans that you've already pre-soaked, then fill the jar with beans 2/3 of the way and then top it off with water, because they will absorb some, but they didn't absorb as much as the AI robot told me they would. So anyways, these are the black beans. Then we have the pinto beans, and these are also pinto beans. And then the butter beans and the red kidney beans. And then down on the next shelf, this is a lot of my bulk foods. Oh, okay. So this is something I created, and I'm hoping it'll work. Although, like, I don't know, it's kind of turning brown. I don't think I stuck any oxygen absorbers in here when I did this. But I freeze dried my banana peels and then ground them up after I freeze dried them. And you're like, why? Like, what are you gonna do with that? This is actually for my garden. So tomatoes need potassium to grow their fruit well. And I do already save my eggshells and I grind those up and use that for calcium because the tomatoes also need a lot of calcium, especially to avoid blossom end rot. So I was going to use my ground up eggshells and my ground up banana peels as like the fertilizer, as you could say, like the food for my plants, because I don't like to use chemicals. I like everything to be all natural. So that's what this banana peel powder is for. I know it's strange. This is the first year I'm trying it out, so we'll see how the fruit does this year when I add this to it. And I'm kind of excited for it. I have high hopes, so I'll report back on how that worked for me. If you don't have a freeze dryer, you could just dehydrate the banana peels, like either in the oven or, you know, like in a dehydrator if you have one, and then just grind them up. But if you don't have like a vacuum sealer to keep it fresh or anything like that, you can even just put the banana peel powder in your freezer, because you don't need more than like 1 jar for most people, you know. So like just stick a jar in your freezer until it's time to plant and, you know, use it in your garden or whatever. But anyways, if you don't have special equipment, you can still do that if you want. So the smoked paprika, again, I got this in bulk, and this is actually only a third of it. I have 2 other packages in the other room. But that is from Azure Standard. As I said, this is more freeze-dried peppers. We had a lot of freeze-dried peppers. Gonna start using those more often, I think. More zucchini, because we do use that a lot. And then I have all my organic flour. I just got a 25-pound bag of organic flour from Azure with my last order. So I think, yeah, these 3-gallon jars are flour, and I have the rest of it upstairs. Then I have organic quinoa. I believe I bought that in a 25-pound bag as well. So I have like 3 containers of that. And moving jars again. Okay, let me get over here. Okay, the nutritional yeast I bought in bulk as well. This is half of it and the rest is upstairs. I use this almost every single day. I stick it in my eggs for breakfast because this has a lot of B vitamins in it, and it's good for metabolism and energy and immune system, gut health, all that stuff. So I use this a lot. And my organic gluten-free oats, I have 3 containers here. I have another container upstairs. Bought that in a 25-pound bag as well. And again, the gallon of apple cider vinegar, the gallon of maple syrup. And then I have my empty quart-size mason jars here. Then on the bottom shelf, this is where I was storing my, not root vegetables. What are these? Winter squash. That's what we're doing. Guys, I'm so tired. I don't even know what's happening right now. But anyways, okay. This is my butternut squash, the stuff that I have left that I haven't already either canned, frozen, or eaten. And then I have a couple empty containers. I had pumpkins and spaghetti squash in there, but I already ate them all. So that was what those containers were for. I did make a video about how I built these boxes. Actually, in the video is when I built this one, where I had like the hardware cloth and everything, and I'll link that video if you want to see it. But in years afterwards, I realized I could just like drill a bunch of holes in the lid instead of doing the hardware cloth. So that's an option too. It doesn't have quite as good airflow as the hardware cloth does, but if you don't have like a jigsaw or whatever, you know, if you just have a drill, you can do it this way too. Just be careful because it does crack the plastic when you're drilling through. So anyway, and then I put a towel on the bottom because I drilled holes in the bottom too, because originally I had these in my cold cellar, which is in the back of a shed, on like wire shelving, so I could have airflow from the bottom too. But then I moved them inside because like I would never go outside to that shed in the winter because it was so cold, and it was like buried in the back of, you know, a place that I couldn't even get to in the winter because I just throw all my gardening stuff in there. So anyways, but I put the towel in here because some of these holes were like sharp and I didn't want it puncturing my fruit. So that's why there's a towel on the bottom if you're wondering. But anyways, that was kind of a little side venture there. Okay. So moving on, that's the empty box. I have some more mason jars here, and then these are all my seeds. I have these in just like bread containers. I used to keep them in the freezer, but again, we're short on freezer space, and I'm just gonna try to use them faster. You know, if you keep them in the freezer, they'll stay viable for years and years, but I'm gonna try to do a better job of just like using up my seeds faster so I don't have to keep them in the freezer. But I have them labeled, not this year, this year, and this year, you know? So it's like stuff I wasn't going to need last year, I just stuck in here if I was taking a year off from growing them or whatever. And then like these two were the ones that I wanted to focus on. So I have like all my seeds in there. And then over here, I just threw the curtains on top of there so they were out of my way, but more mason jars over there next to the shelf because again, we're a little limited on storage space. And then I have more mason jars over here too. Here's my tripod if you want more behind the scenes, my little ring light. Hello. But yeah, so more mason jars over here, quart-sized jars, and then I have my half-gallon jars there, and then I have half-pint jelly jars, salsa jars, and this one I got like half-pint jars that are different shape in here. Then I got the 4-ounce mason jars up here, and an empty thing because I just used all my jars. Just used those all to make my black beans. So anyway, yeah, so that's the tour. And honestly, I thought when I was making a video about like rearranging this and putting the beans away, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a really short video, but I managed to yap so much throughout the process. I think this is actually gonna be a longer one. So hopefully you enjoyed it. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see this year, because I really am trying to do better about posting something new every week. It is a goal of mine to have something out every week, and I've been trying really hard. I've been doing it ever since the beginning of January. I've been keeping up, so I'm gonna keep trying to do that. I know things will get harder once I get into gardening season, but let me know what you wanna see. Let me know if you want information on certain homesteading things, or gardening, or canning, or cooking from scratch, or healthy eating, raising animals, whatever you want to see. Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please share my channel with your friends, and if you like this video, you know, click the thumbs up, give it a like, because that really helps me out a lot. It helps YouTube to suggest it to other people so more people can find my content. So I would really appreciate that. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and have a great week. I'll see you next week. God bless.